Hi, I'm AJ Freet, and I support small businesses.
And I'm Michelle Spiller, and I enjoy school events.
Hi, I'm Jake Winkleman, and I got this week's Around Campus.
I'm Rocco Law, and I've got this week in Mepham Sports.
Hi, I'm Hannah Broxmeyer with your weekend forecast.
These are the B&B morning announcements for Friday, March 13th. Yeah!
Good morning, Mepham. Today is day 2. Please rise and join us for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to the first ever B&B Breaking News Update. With all the changing news happening both in our school and in the world, we thought it was only fair to bring you what is really happening.
B&B News correspondents got in touch with doctors, district administrators, teachers, business leaders, and athletes in Bellmore to get you all the information on the coronavirus that's touching every corner of our community.
To start off, we were able to get in touch with a local doctor who was able to give us some more details about the pandemic.
These days, someone coughs or sneezes and a riot breaks loose because everyone thinks coronavirus is coming for them. Well, I sat down with a very intelligent doctor, and we obviously discussed that that's not necessarily the case. Just take a few precautions, obviously.
Dr. Dara Katz at the Columbia University Medical Center is an advocate for the advancement in women's medicine, creating the feminine movement, as well as an emergency medicine physician who is an expert in infectious diseases.
So the coronaviruses are not new, right? They're part of a bunch of respiratory viruses that we see all the time. And this coronavirus is new. It's a new version, and it's a little unclear where it came from. They think it actually came from a bat that went through a marsupial that then was somehow ingested in China, and that this new virus got to humans, but that there was an intermediate host. So that kind of is the background on how this all started. It started in December, and in China, in Wuhan, China, was where they first found it. And what they realized was, since humans had never been exposed to this virus, the human reaction, we get immune to viruses, and we have like the flu shot and all these ways that our bodies fight things off. A new virus is unknown to all of us. Yeah. And so what's happening is, what we're seeing is the entire world is reacting to a brand new virus at the same time.
Dr. Cass also goes in depth on how to limit the spread of virus on an individual level.
You can all help this not spread by washing your hands, not hugging and kissing each other, not communicating any of your droplets amongst each other, however you think about it. Don't share drinks, right? These are all really important measures, again, because the way I describe it is, for kids, especially in high school and college and even in elementary school, you guys will spread it amongst yourselves and be fine until it hits somebody that is affected. And we're trying to prevent that person from getting it.
Finally, Dr. Kaz explains what we can expect, what the future is going to be like with the coronavirus, and what we should look out for.
Preventing this long term is a much more complicated issue. We actually had an office of pandemic response in the National Security Council that was existed for these reasons, for international responses to global pandemics. And unfortunately, the office doesn't exist anymore. And that was a decision that was, I think, a poorly thought out decision personally, but really set up our inability to address this going forward. So I think a lot of the decisions that will be made by people a lot more, above the pay grade of me and you, is to set up our ability to respond to this on an international scale. But for right now, the most important thing we can do amongst each other is stop spreading it amongst each other.
With B&B News, I'm Ava Scheffler, and stay safe out there, guys.
Thanks, Ava. Getting correct information in this time of panic is so important, and that's what we strive to do as a news broadcast.
The coronavirus is affecting many people throughout the world, and many schools throughout the country have already been closed. Our district, however, is still up and running. B&B reporter Luke Malfa spoke to the district superintendent, Mr. DiTomaso, about what the future plans for the district may be.
There's been growing concern regarding the COVID-19 virus, better known as the coronavirus. With schools shutting down across the country, the district's plans here are still unclear. Meetings are being held to decide what the district has planned for the schools in Bellmore Merrick.
Well, the coronavirus is already affecting the district in a lot of different ways. We have canceled almost every field trip for March and April. We will be moving plays and concerts, and there's no question that the coronavirus is changing a lot of what's happening in society, and certainly the district reflects that as well. Right now, we have not missed school, but there is certainly a distinct possibility that we will.
As of March 11th, there have been 31 positive cases of the virus on Long Island, 25 in Nassau County, with 6 school districts in Nassau County already experiencing closures.
Well, I think the schools on Long Island have definitely been affected by the coronavirus. As far as I know, every school on Long Island has been cooperating with the health offices and meeting the requirements that they put in place as far as keeping the buildings sanitized and clean.
Well, in general, I think Long Island schools are grappling with the same things, obviously, that we are, which field trips, plays, large group gatherings. Some school districts, a handful, probably 10 or so, have closed for a day or two based upon getting a confirmed case in their district. So it is affecting Long Island schools right now, and it will continue to affect Long Island schools going forward. It is literally changing by the minute. And so I think that we're going to continue to see that moving forward.
While no one can be sure what tomorrow may bring, the administration of the Bellmore Merrick Central High School District will be sure to keep the families within the district safe as we navigate through the changing impacts of the virus. B&B will be sure to keep you guys posted on our social media platforms. Be sure to stay safe and wash your hands. From B&B, I've been Luke Melfa.
Thanks, Luke. So now that we know how the virus is already affecting our community, let's take a look about how it's affecting our school itself. Events like St. Baldrick's, Italian Night, Rock, Paper, Scissors Tournament, Athletes Helping Athletes, the Physics Olympiad, So You Think You Could Dance, and so many other events are already rescheduled or canceled. Here's B&B's Aiden Carolyn, who was able to go around the school and find out how the virus is already affecting Mepham.
As the coronavirus continues to spread, people have taken many precautions around the world and in our local area, including Mepham High School, as we have postponed many events that would have happened in the coming weeks.
One event that has been postponed due to coronavirus is the Italian Night. This event for Italian Honor Society helps them raise money for charity, as well as being a fun night about Italian culture for the students, teachers, and parents.
Well, at the moment, we are looking through the calendar to make sure that nothing coincides with other events, because this is not just a Mepham event. We have central administration come, so we try to make it that there's nothing else going on in the district that night. So we're still up in the air with a new date.
St. Baldrick's has also been postponed. St. Baldrick's is one of the most anticipated events in the school, where people hang out, donate, get involved with activities, and shave their head for cancer awareness.
We're going to make sure that we flip this to a positive and say, okay, it might not be our original date, it might not be in the month of March, but that gives us just more time to try to fundraise more so that we together as a Mepham community can end childhood cancer.
Another event that has also been postponed was So They Think They Can Dance. This event is where anyone can dance with others in teams in a talent show like competition. Even if you don't know how to dance, anyone can get involved with this event.
I understand why there's a need to postpone them, in terms of bringing large groups of people together. So as long as we get to have the events, I think that that's really the most important thing, not so much the date that they happen on.
Although the spring musical isn't officially postponed, the running of the show is uncertain in order to provide the most safety to the students, parents, and faculty.
A lot of these events are based on the work that students do, and unfortunately, yes, we have to take coronavirus seriously, but at the same time, there are many people who take it too far, and they panic and they worry, and because of that, a lot of people probably won't come to these events, and it's really tough, I think, from a student's perspective, knowing that you spent so much time working on a project or an event, and when it comes time for it to come to fruition, you have half the crowd or even less than what you were expecting. So I agree with the move to push everything.
The coronavirus has heavily impacted the world, affecting everyone around the globe. In order to make a better and safer tomorrow, people are taking action now in order to prevent harm from anyone in the district. From B&B, I'm Aiden Carolyn.
While the coronavirus is the topic of the day, we can't let it take over what we do. Last week, the kickline team participated in the national competition in Orlando, Florida. At this competition, they took home many honorable awards, including being crowned as national champions. But more importantly, they were nominated as the team with the most sportsmanship. They spent the weekend cheering on other teams and practicing like crazy. Jake Winkleman sat down with Chloe Shipley and Jessica Roth in order to discuss their journey to the throne.
Hi, I'm Jake Winkleman and welcome to this week's Around Campus. Today, I sit down with Chloe Shipley and Jesse Roth, who are both part of the Mepham Kickline Championship roster here. So how long have you guys been on the team?
We've both been on the team for 4 years.
And how was Nationals? What did you guys get to do?
Nationals was an amazing experience. We had practice almost every day, and once we found out we were in first for prelims, we worked even harder to stay in first, and once we won, it was just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, going into your senior year, did you ever imagine getting the jacket?
Probably not, but this year it was most obtainable. Like once, like she said, we got first going into prelims, so we were like, it was like so close, so we worked so hard getting there.
How long have you guys been training for this accomplishment?
Well, we've been training for 4 years, but our coach, Miss Dennis, has been training for like 12 years, and she works hard every day to like get the jacket, and we finally got it, and we're all just so proud.
Yeah, and since the summer we've been having practices, and in September we started learning the dances, and ever since then we've been practicing.
That's great to hear. And how does the team affect your life here at Mepham High School?
Kickline just involves you in so much stuff, like So You Think You Can Dance, Mr. Mepham. It forces you to go to these events, so it makes you more excited to be there.
And what does like the jacket mean to you?
You want to answer that?
Yeah. It just, I don't know, it just like shows how hard we worked, and like it's just incredible. Like, I don't know, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's a great accomplishment. And how does the team affect your life here at Mepham High School?
It just makes it so much better. Like, this is like the best high school ever because the team just gets you involved in so much stuff, and so it makes it such a better experience.
And what does life after Mepham Kickline look for you guys?
I hope to continue dancing because Mepham Kickline just showed me like how hard I could work and just like what I could do in the future.
Alrighty guys, thank you for tuning in Around Campus this week. And here's to another championship kickline next year. Now back to you in studio.
Thanks, Jake. Moving back to the coronavirus, this pandemic has also affected the economy. Businesses, both large and small, have all felt the effects of the coronavirus. B&B's reporter Emily Rosenberg went to Bedford Avenue to discuss how the virus has affected the business community.
When people think of pandemics, they don't often
Thanks,
first
Emily.
think of
And
the
I'm being-
effect on the economy.
Oh, wow.
But here on Bedford
Yes, you
Avenue in
did.
Bellmore
Good job,
Town,
Michelle.
local business owners are certainly feeling an effect.
So far, being Thursday, it hasn't been that bad. It was slower Tuesday, Wednesday, and today than normal, but people still came. And I think the real test will be the weekend to see how it is, because our weekends are our busiest time.
Up until this week, didn't see any effect really. Last week was a regular week in the salon. This week though, it's Thursday, and I see it's very slow.
With the heightened risk, many businesses have taken extra precautions, such as signs on their doors saying, "Don't come in if you're sick," or wearing gloves while serving.
We have Lysol, we have the wipes, we have the hand sanitizer everywhere. We keep Lysoling the doors, the doorknobs in the bathroom, everything, cleaning like crazy.
Even with the Dow falling and falling patron numbers, our local businesses are looking forward to rebuild and be even better for the future.
I think as far as my business, I think it's going to be back. We've always done a really good business. People, especially in the area, have been here 6.5 years. Really, really like coming here, and I always do very well. And it's a neighborhood place, and I think it'll go back to that.
I think we'll all make a full recovery. It's just going to take a little time, and right now I think it's more of everybody's just scared because of the unknown. But so I see hopefully by May.
For B&B, I'm Emily Rosenberg.
Thanks, Emily. And I am not a doctor, but I do know that the influenza pandemic of 1919 was also a very serious case. B&B reporter Casey Farr was able to discuss the history of pandemics with social studies teacher Ms. Watt.
The 1918 Spanish flu was thought to be the deadliest disease in human history, killing at least 50 million people worldwide. This pandemic created hysteria in the world as it affected millions after a time of war.
The pandemic was called the Spanish flu, and it was a horrible illness. It was a flu-like symptoms that basically affected people worldwide as soldiers were coming home from World War I.
This influenza was unique, and the effects of it had been unseen at the time.
Well, the pandemic was unique because most flus affect the very young and the very old, and the Spanish flu affected people of all age ranges, and it wasn't reported on the media, so people weren't really washing their hands and knowing about quarantine, so it really affected the population, which today lets us know that we should definitely quarantine and practice good hygiene.
The virus impacted the entire planet and was critical to the timeline of history.
It was critical because so many people died. I mean, the estimates are 17 million to up to 50 million, possibly even 100 million people, getting very ill and passing away from this of all age ranges around the world.
The number of cases of the 1919 influenza had leveled off to a pretty low number, even though it took several years for that to happen. With protective measures, hopefully the coronavirus will have the same trend, allowing it to level off. Hopefully the coronavirus will not create this level of chaos, but in order to prevent this, make sure to wash your hands and refrain from contact with others. From BMB, I've been Casey Farr.
Thanks, Casey. In Mepham sports and the professional sports world alike, events are being canceled and rescheduled faster than you could say COVID-19. Rocco Law, your B&B sports reporter, went to the street to talk to the district athletic director as well as athletes about the growing concern about the virus and how it will affect the sports.
The world of sports is just another victim in the domino effect we are seeing from the sweeping coronavirus pandemic. In just a matter of days, leagues from around the world have been shutting down, canceling seasons, and banning fans. This week, the damage of the U.S. sports world has been hit and hit hard. On Wednesday, the NCAA stated that their beloved billion-dollar March Madness tournament will move to small high school gym-like locations without any spectator attendance and is on the brink of being shut down. In the NBA, one of its all-stars, Rudy Gobert, was tested positive for COVID-19. As a result, the NBA has suspended the season amid the spread to its association. With the state of California prohibiting the gathering of more than 250 people, the start of the MLB season is in doubt. With professional leagues falling one by one, it's only a matter of time until it impacts high school athletics.
I suspect shortly here, as more and more schools begin to close, and professional leagues begin to suspend operations, I think there's going to be a trickle-down effect, and it'll affect us in a similar way. To be honest with you, it's a little deflating. When you win a championship, the expectation is that you have the euphoria of celebrating with the fans. And unfortunately, for most, that's not an option right now.
Pirate athletes are undoubtedly concerned whether or not their spring season is in jeopardy.
I think if the season does get affected by it, it's going to be very unfortunate because everybody works so hard leading up to the spring season, and especially for the seniors, it'll be disappointing since it's their last season at Mepham.
Oh, I definitely think it's a possibility. I mean, everything is being canceled. Just hoping somehow it passes by.
The spread of the virus has impacted the enjoyment sports brings us. As a sports reporter and a spring athlete, I have an unwavering concern of whether my final year as a Pirate athlete will be in danger. With the spring sports season on the chopping block, public health and safety should always be a #1 concern. However, the state and district's decision will have repercussions that will be remembered for years to come. This has been the B&B Sports Report, and I'm Rocco Law. Thanks, Rocco. Since Ava played the part of investigative journalist this week, somebody else had to fill in as a weather girl. So we've got Hailstorm Hannah back again with another weekend of Mepham weather.
Hi, I'm Hailstorm Hannah back with your weekend weather. Today we'll start off with some rain and a high of 66 and a low of 39. Moving on to Saturday, there will be clear skies with a high of 54 and a low of 37. As the end of the weekend, it will be partly cloudy and a little colder with a high of 48 and a low of 31. Hope you have a safe and healthy weekend, and remember, wash your hands.
Thanks, Hannah. Now for your quote of the day. The best time to make friends is before you need them.
These have been the B&B morning announcements for Friday, March 13th. A special B&B COVID-19 report.
Have a great day, Mepham.
Did you wash your hands? Wow.